J Moore, the very best reviews. Tell them none can contest, we gon'
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the show. Appreciate everybody for coming through, taking the time to chop it up with me while we break down The Godfather Harlem Season 4 first reaction for the finale for Season 4, like I was saying. Anyway, great episode. Maybe not the best of finales that they've had, but it did have a little suspense. I thought Bump might not make it, but I didn't think he was going to get taken out, only because I already know how the true life story go. I did know Columbo did have an attempt on his life. I didn't look into his background that deep, so I wasn't sure exactly when or where. I thought it was at some type of rally or something, but it was interesting to see how they played that out. They had little baby Black Panther. They had old baby Black come up in there and try to take him out. And baby Black ain't nobody even, he did this on his own. With him, and of all people, what's the caller? I can't even think of her little name right now. Well, her little badass, Margaret. So baby Black and Margaret gonna put together a plan to take out Columbo. Talking about, I'm a Black Panther now. I mean, I was never a wannabe as far as wanting to be with this group or that group, but I did have times where I looked up to people and things. So, I mean, I was led astray at times when I was younger. I'm glad it wasn't on anything serious, but damn, man. This dude want to be something so bad, don't he? He over here biting off more than he can chew, for sure. He bit off a whole steak meal over here messing with Joe Columbo and them boys trying to go for him. They gonna have to hide him deep, 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 deep undercover. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we see Columbo could have avoided all of that. He ended up getting a little neck respect. You know what I'm saying? Baby Black tried to take him out, got shot in the neck, got a little neck respect. He could have avoided all of that. We saw what's his name? Pettigrew tried to give him the warning like Pop from the barbershop. He said, hey, look here. Bump ain't gonna have you there. He ain't gonna meet. He ain't gonna look too good. Because in the beginning, we see it was supposed to be a meeting earlier, too. And when that meeting came, Bump wasn't there. And thanks to Pettigrew, neither did Columbo, but they end up taking out all his men and burning down the St. Clair. So, Columbo and everything, they trying to get revenge for that. So we see in this episode that Bump, while he's sitting there at the diner that they've been going to for years, a little something stuck in my teeth, that some fake cop dressed up, undercover blues, sitting at the dining table or whatever. They knew that dude didn't fit in. Next thing you know, he hop up with the pistol, start busting. He let off a bunch of shots too. I'm surprised that more people didn't get shot. But of all people to get shot, this woman, this poor lady, dang, she got shot. I can't remember the waitress name. The waitress whose son is already passed, and now the other son want to be a baby Black Panther, which is why he probably felt he wanted to do something and get some revenge, because that was a hit order for Bump, but it was from the Columbo. And so he like, man, they done popped my mama. Baby Black about to grow up. Time for these balls to drop. Too bad he ain't learned how to shoot first. What's up, Rashonda? How you doing, mama? How's everything with you tonight? I wanted to go live Monday. I forgot all about it Sunday night, actually, with the Pacers and the basketball over here and everything. I forgot all about the damn show. I was like, man, it's something I was supposed to be doing. So much happened Sunday night with the Pacers, man. Not only did they lose, I feel bad for Tyrese Halliburton. You know, I ain't a Pacers fan, although I do like good basketball. They did have a good hustle about them. But Tyrese, that was sad to see him get injured like that. That just ruined their whole team, everything, basically. Because he going to be gone till what, 2 years from now? All of next year. Anyway, Gordy McFly, what's good? What's up with you, man? You say finally caught a live joint piece from Little Rock. What up, banging in Little Rock? We banging out here in Little Rock, home. That's all. We just banging. You know what I'm saying? Deuce here. What up? Yeah, man, I'm glad that you was able to catch it. I mean, this is a different night than I usually go live. I should mix it up a little more, be a little more consistent on some things. I've been working on a couple with this other stuff, with this app and other stuff. So I need to hurry up and get these things moving so I can focus on some other stuff. But I'm trying to make some money so then I can take that money and roll it back on over here and then reinvest. Next thing you know, you'll be seeing me at a news desk. Breaking news. Dame Dollar, what's good, brother? How you feeling, man? What's good with you? Beautiful Bella D. What's up, Bella D? How you doing, beautiful Bella D? Great name. How you doing, mama? So, let's get back to the Godfather of Harlem finale. For those who have joined us that may have missed the first few minutes, I was saying I enjoyed the episode. It wasn't probably my favorite of the finales, but it did have some shocking moments, like when we took out I done forgot her name already. I said it just a little while ago, but the waitress, when they shot her, I was surprised about that. You know, I was eating something and there's something in my tooth bothering me right now, y'all. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, yeah, man, I was surprised when she got shot. That poor woman been having just the worst luck ever, ain't she? And so then her son, baby Black Panther over here, took a shot at Columbo for revenge, which I wasn't kind of expecting that. Although I was expecting somebody to make some kind of move because they was building up to it rather. But I was kind of expecting more of something to go with Bumpy, to be honest. The way things have been going, it looked like they kind of priming the show for Frank Lucas. Maybe they'll do that next season. But we do see Bumpy back in the game. He tried his best, but in the end, he back in the game to save his own life. So, we'll see. Beautiful Bella D, bless to you too, sis. Gordy McFly, do you think Columbo dead? Nah, Columbo not dead. So the thing with Columbo, and I mean, that's the one thing about these type of shows is, and when they based off real people, you kind of know some of the real answers, or in the case of Raising Kanan, even though it's not real, we kind of know what happens. Well, Columbo actually does get whacked in real life, but I believe it's 10 years after Bumpy Johnson passes. He lives another 10 years after Bump. Now, in total, I think he died in his mid-50s, whereas Bump died in his 60s, mid-60s. So, he didn't necessarily live longer, but he lived 10 years longer. He didn't live or have a longer life, but you know what I mean. Matter of fact, I'll pull it up, Google it. But yeah, man, the way that they did that was interesting because I don't think he would have survived if Chance would have got that shot off, though. But you know what I'm saying, old baby Black messed it up, and Chance got that shot off, and next thing you know, he he wasn't a good enough shot, so he well, he is gonna survive. I guess that's one way to show. But here I'm pull it up on Google. J Doe, thanks for the super chat, my brother. Let's see, Bumpy Johnson, Bump J, Bumpy. He died in 68. Yep, 10 years before I was born. From 1905 to 68. So that's what, 63 years roughly. Let's see, do they have anybody? Dutch Schultz. Okay. Let's see, Colombo. What's his name? Frank Colombo? The Colombo crime family. He don't even look like the Frankie that we Joe Colombo. What did I say? Frank? Joe Colombo, 78. Yep. He died in 78. Born in 23. 78. That was the year I was born. And I could have swore he was married. Let's see. Anyway, I didn't spend too much time in that. Reason I was saying that is because they was always showing in this last episode or whatever the case, for this last season especially, him trying to marry Stella, whereas he already married. And you know, the Italians don't believe in divorce. They definitely don't believe in multiple marriages. We're Catholic, okay? Anyway, J Doe, man, appreciate you for the super chat, man. Spreading love, man. I definitely appreciate it. Gotta keep your head up out there in the struggle. I had some difficulties recently, my dang on self. Jay Dizzle, you say I hit refresh my YouTube at the right moment and it said you was live. There it is. I'm glad I made it right on time. Now, this episode did have an interesting moment because we saw that Bumpy Johnson basically got put in his place by the families, the mob families, when they realized about that hit. And then, oh boy, the other mobster, I can't remember his name. he was trying to vouch for Bumpy to go against Colombo, but it didn't work. And then after the hit on Colombo didn't work, it looked like Stella was about to have some little extra lead in her diet. You know what I'm saying? She's about to have little dumps in them trunks. And shoot, she's stupid anyway. Why is she sitting around with no security in that apartment after that hit and it didn't go right? I mean, she should have been somewhere anyway, at least for an alibi. Nevertheless, she what's old boy, because at the meeting, of course I don't remember this old pasta head eating name, but he been hating and wanting to take over the family from Stella and Chin to begin with. And so they like, hey, Colombo like, hey, look, she want to play the game like a man. She can deal with the consequences like a man, because ain't nobody want to whack a woman at first. Hey, we got rules here. We not in the Mali. Uno animale, animale, animale. Anyway, he got a point. I mean, she calling for people heads to get taken off. So then we see he go there to visit her. What's his name? Vito? Joe Pino. There it is, Pino. So Pino go there, and she had the pistol, and then she gonna put it in the purse. Why? But before, when it was Joe, she kept it on her the whole time, basically, until she felt that it was cool. Whereas with this dude, after a hit, she puts it back. And so then, barely by the skin of her teeth, she survived. Because after he questioned her, you can already tell it's awkward. He about to probably make a move on her. She didn't go for her purse. And then here come the tussle. He take the gun from her. And then, she pretty much in trouble. But then they end up in some type of fight. At first I was like, I ain't know what happened when he got popped. I'm thinking, how the hell did she reverse that? Because they end up tussling, falling on the bed, wrestling with the gun. He could have TV, right? And that's some of the things that make me wonder about this type of show, is that you don't know all of the details about a lot of these other characters. It's just the main characters of these type of stories, whose life and their deeds is most well known. But while she there fighting or whatever, and it was about a second or two before it was over for her at point blank range with her own gun, which is probably one of the worst ways you can go out, is with your own gun. But Frank Lucas come in and save the day, take him out from behind, end up saving everybody, and that's how they ended up. She ended up surviving or whatever the case. So we see later this episode that, boy, we see later this episode that Bump, he really don't have much. He really under their control. And yeah, Bumpy did have a sit down with her, beautiful Bella. Bumpy had to sit down with her, let her know, hey, look, you need to bounce. She ain't want to listen though. She been hard headed her whole time in this damn show. She don't never listen. That's one of her biggest problems. But, I bet you she get her ass out of town now. Anyway, she ain't want to listen, and it was almost a wrap. Corey Washington, you say technically Bumpy didn't kill Columbo. The young guy did it to avenge his mother. Bumpy should have said it wasn't him. That's true. That's true. He should have. And it didn't have nothing to do with him. Dude actually got to him before Bump, but Bump would have did it right. That's the difference. And so, but Shorty, I think Bump was trying to protect Shorty because he know it's old girl's son, Delia. That's her name, Delia. And so he didn't want to let her son get whacked. See, that's one thing about Bump, is that even though he was a man of the streets, he did have character, which is something a lot of people lack, especially today. And they ain't even in the streets. They just regular Joe Schmoes and Jane Does, and they lack character. So, he didn't like to throw people under the bus or, have an innocent person or whatever get messed up. Like, he was mad when the dude with the apartment, with the St. Clair stuff, ended up getting whacked over all that stuff. It's a lot of things that, he was trying not to do. It, like in the game, selling the doogie, he didn't really think about, if you grow up into something and hustling and you doing this, you just thinking this business way of life, making money, it is how it is. Malcolm put the bug in his ear, made him start to self-reflect. He really started to try to have even more character, you know. But Corey, you got an excellent point. You say, why does she let Pino in the door? I was wondering the same thing. The only thing I was thinking is that he might kick in the door. But if he'd kick in the door, you know how when the way her apartment was set up, say this is the front door, and then like right here side is her bed with that big ass suitcase, so obvious. But if he'd have kicked in the door and boom, came right in, as soon as he'd have came here, he'd have caught one. Matter of fact, I might have came to the side as soon as that door opened up. Boom, boom. He'd have caught one at an angle. Otherwise, he better not have kicked in that door. But she probably thought she could sweet talk him. Probably thought she could get away with it because she didn't got away with it so many times. She probably felt that it was no worry. But it was almost her last meal, the lead sandwich. Anyway, I'm gonna put the link in here in the chat. If anybody want to come and talk about the show, I'm gonna go ahead and give my MOSCORE rating for this episode, and then we break it down a little more before we get up out of here. Yeah, man. I mean, you all let me know, what would you rate this episode while I break this down? You all let me know in the comments, what would you rate this finale? I need some water. Now, who switched the drinks? That's an old joke right there with Ray Charles. With the, now, who switched the drinks? Anyway, the MOSCORE, my rating system, real simple, 4 categories, 25 points each. Give you a score of $1. You can always break it down into a score of 1 to 10. Now, first category, visual cinematography. I'm having some distractions over here, man. It's J Doe, you know what I'm talking about. Boy. Anyway, the MOSCORE, like I was saying, first category, the visual cinematography is always. I forgot why I was. Oh, man. The visual cinematography for the episode. I'm getting a headache, man. Oh, my goodness. The visuals, you know, it's like a throwback, but it's good. We all like the way it look and everything. So, you know, can't go wrong with that. I do like how they had the little setup with the Columbo and all of that stuff, and they had them get popped and all of that and everything. Girl, I just took a big old swig. That was in one swig. Anyway, they make it look good. I like the Columbo thing. It was a little twist when we saw Delia get shot. I wasn't expecting that. I don't know, man. I'm not spoiled. I'm used to big finales and a lot more or something bigger. But, you know, it was good. It wasn't anything It was better than a lot of the other episodes. I'll give it that. Not that they were bad. But I'm going to give it for the visuals and cinematography for this episode, I'm going to give it a 22 out of 25 as that rating for that category. For the next category for my ratings, the MOSCORE, is category 2, the storyline and plot. I did like the storyline and plot for this episode. I liked how Chance and Frank, they came and handled business in the St. Clair. They came through over there, 2 little G's over there. Dude. I like Chance, man. I hope he don't end up strung out in the end or getting whacked. Anyway, they came through a clean house up in the St. Clair, burnt that boy down. But anyway, it was good. I liked the Delia thing. I didn't see that coming, like I said. Margaret helping little baby Black Panther with the gun to get revenge. I ain't see that twist coming on Columbo. It was interesting. It was good. I liked it. I can't complain. I'm going to give this episode storyline and plot, I'm going to give it a 22 out of 25. 22 out of 25. The special effect, makeup, costumes, always excellent, on point. I could have gave a little extra point or two for Miss Mamie Johnson when she went to that party, you know what I'm saying, with that black and white dress on. She was looking good. We did see some good visuals also. I forgot about that, but for the special effects, makeup, costumes, Bumping them did burn old boy alive, didn't they? Inside the St. Clair, let him roast the whole building down. So, they poured some water on him and fake like it, but they did a good job on the digitals. Looked like he roasted. And so they cooked that bologna meat. So I'm going to give that visuals and cinematography for this episode, I'm going to give it a 23. 23 out of 25. And then last but not least, entertaining fun factor. I did enjoy this episode. I enjoyed the series. And I'm going to give it a 22 out of 25 for this episode. You know what? I'm going to give it a 23 out of 25. It definitely was worth watching. Watching multiple times, trying to get a little bit more agua up in here. But that bring my total to a 90 on the MOSCORE, which is a 9 out of 10. And I think it was worth it. This episode was fire. Definitely a good episode. And a good end to the season. I mean, it looked like this show, at least as far as Bumpy is concerned, may only go around 5 seasons. But I think they did put the show in a good place to go at least another 2-3 seasons with Frank Lucas. And I'd look to see what Frank is up to. I like him. He good looking dude with his swagger. He got his gangster going on and different stuff. So, I think he can make something happen, So, yeah, that'll be a good one to see. Anyway, Mr. Thorne, the straight vodka. What you thought? Nah, this water, man. This water. I ain't getting down like that. Hey, if I was drinking that straight vodka, you could definitely would be able to tell the difference of me talking up here. You know what I'm saying? Big Mama Chronicles, Power Creator pay you. Yeah, they gonna do it for free. Corey Washington, I thought Pettigrew was dead for sure. It was highly unbelievable that a young black guy could not only shoot Columbo, but also get away. Those black people stuck out like a sore thumb. All eyes on them. Now, that was true. When he got away, I was shocked. I was shocked. And the police was like, come on, get out, get out. The only thing I can think is, I don't know what I thought. I did notice that, and I was thinking either this cop sucks and he got away for real, or what in the world is this? What's good, encouraging here? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Jay? How you doing, crew?
All right. Oh, yeah, echo. But, good to have.
Am I good now? You still hear an echo?
Not when you talk, but not talk. But go ahead. I'll let you go ahead. What you think about this episode?
Yeah, I agree with the last comment that was made. It really didn't feel like a finale to me. Like the way that they ended it. I mean, yeah, it was a couple incidents that's gonna get, have to be tied up in the next season. Like, first of all, Pettigrew, he's trash. He's just trash. Like, I want him to be exposed in the next season. And the crazy part was Chance was in disbelief. Like, he was telling Bumpy, nah man, I put my life on it. It can't be him. And then when he found out it was him, he talking about, oh, I'm gonna put a bullet in him. I'm like, if that was the case, why didn't you do it right then and there?
Well, yeah, he was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
And then, like,
heartbreak.
Yeah, I mean, and then like, I saw somebody had put a comment saying that they wasn't sure if Columbo was dead. Yes, Columbo is dead because at the end of the episode, if I can recall, the one of the bosses, he said that they was gonna give him a pass, but he got to go back selling Doogie. So basically, he done did all that. He done did all this sacrificing and all this just to go back to doing what he was trying to get away from in the first place.
Well, that part is true. He ended up going through all that just to be back where he was. But Columbo, he don't die in real life. He don't die in 1968. And that's no, he don't die in 70. And Bumpy Johnson dies in 1968 in real life. Columbo lived 10 years after Bumpy Johnson in real life. Now they can relate the story, I know, but people will be mad. But then again, I don't know how many people saw that movie, The Untouchables, in the 80s. But they had Frank Nitti killed by getting thrown off the roof by Elliot Ness, and that was so. Who knows?
Yeah, and then another thing that got under my skin was for her to be like a boss's daughter. Where they got you living at? Like, it's only one way in and one way out. So God forbid if something happened, like, you just trapped. Like, you can't go out the fire escape, out the window. Like you knew Pino was coming after you. Like you knew that, but you just gonna just willingly just open the door.
She underestimated. They say I still got a bad echo talking with. I can still hear it. It's still, it ain't echoing now, but that's when I muted your mic.
Can you still hold up? Go now.
Much better. Now it's not echo.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, you got a good point. I don't know why she stay in that 1 bedroom apartment, but I guess they didn't live a lavish life as bosses back in the day. They should. I don't know. Maybe he had her on an allowance because
I
she.
mean, she called herself supposed to be a grown ass woman, but you sitting there living in a 1 bed apartment like you a teenager or something.
Right. She definitely should have had that gun ready for Pino answering the door like ain't nothing wrong, like it wasn't nothing to worry about. She had big problems to worry about. I mean, she might as well get with Frank. She ain't got a problem with getting with black men. She might as well get with Frank and,
Hmm.
and make him your man for a while. Hell, that ain't gonna happen though, but that would have been a good storyline. It might happen.
Yeah,
Who knows?
good for TV.
Yeah, it might. They still young because we
And
only
then
saw Frank when he was. Well, that was when Bump was about to go. So we don't know what year this is. That's the thing. We don't know what
and
year this is. It might be 63.
and what about the part that was when they were in the diner and when Delia got popped and everything? They making it seem like she purposely jumped in front of that bullet to save them. Like the way that I seen it, like she was just standing there,
Exactly.
like so she was like at the wrong place at the wrong time. But you see how people, they sit there, they take a situation and they twist it all around and make it seem like more than what it really is.
Yeah, that's the thing. If people don't really understand how dangerous the human mind is, that's what some people. I mean, if you bring this up, everybody probably heard of this, but like perspective. That's how me and you can watch the same thing and come away with two different perspectives. One person, we can watch the Godfather Harlem finale and somebody giving it a 10 right now, and somebody saying it sucked, and we watch the same thing.
Hmm.
So and that's just the way it is that's the danger, is that one person can say it was great and it was bad or on purpose or accident, but the one thing I would have said if I was what baby Black Panther over there is when Margaret talking about your mama a hero, she stepped in front of my daddy. Like, man, my mama ain't need to be stepping in front of your
Yeah,
gangsta ass daddy. What the hell?
exactly.
Hey, she ain't trying to be no hero for your gangsta ass daddy. She a damn waitress. What the hell are you talking about? Your daddy probably deserved the bullet. My mama ain't killed nobody and tortured and selling drugs. You talking about she a hero. She wasn't saving his ass.
Exactly. This is what I be saying. Like, that's what needed to be said at that moment.
Facts. Right, he over there like, thank you. Like, what? Your
But
ass is
then on top of that, you still want to avenge what happened to your mom and go over there and steal them people's guns and go over there and shoot Columbo like that. Like that was just totally like unexpected.
That's because he got an identity crisis. He a wannabe and he young and he don't, especially during that time period, and then there's no man in the house and his brother's gone and he don't know if he gonna be a man, a soldier, or a Black Panther. I
And
mean,
then what his mom did ain't make it no better, trying to
right,
get him kidnapped.
right, right. You my baby, you ain't going nowhere. It's like, yeah, so he don't know what he is, which end up making him do something stupid, unfortunately. But yeah, that was messed up with that whole situation, and I'm glad Bumpy didn't say that wasn't me. I had nothing to do with it. Then they'd have been like, "Well, find out who did it." Then he'd have to throw dude under the bus or somebody else. So that's good. He didn't do that. He took it like a man, but dude did mess up his plans. He might have old Big Dick Buster come visit him for a minute. Nah, he ain't gonna do that. Corey Washington, you say Jerome Johnson really did shoot Colombo in real life at that rally, but in real life, Jerome was killed by Colombo bodyguards and Colombo was paralyzed by the shooting. Dang.
Wow, wow, that is crazy.
Uh, so maybe some of that did happen as far as Delia getting shot and maybe all this other stuff going on. Maybe they figured out Delia and son and what you call it did have some. Who knows? Still, it's still a very good story, interesting. But I told you Columbo lived. But yeah, I ain't know about dude, but it makes sense because they was the only black folks over there in that sea of Italians, and they definitely stuck out. Another thing, man, when did Bumpy's daughter, what you call it? I can't think of her name right now. When she get with Obi? When they fall in love, all I care about you too, and oh my,
My God, this girl right here, like, talk about identity crisis. Like,
yeah, yep, yep. She got one too. Yeah, I'm sure it was a lot going on though during that time. I'm sure it was difficult for a lot of people, but hell, it's a lot of people with identity crisis now. So
I
I
mean, let me tell you something. Look, this all boiled down from the first season when she was a drug addict. Yeah, we understand her struggles. She been through what she been through. She went, found alive, got clean. Okay. Then all of a sudden she got like this fascination with Malcolm X. I mean, who didn't back that kid? I mean, but at the same time, she had to respect Betty, because that was her friend. But
mm,
then after the assassination happened, I guess she felt though it was her duty to find out who killed Michael, which, come on, the rabbit hole goes deep within that. You know what I'm saying? So, and
right,
then and then on top of that, like, I guess, when the dude in jail told her, like, look, man, I appreciate you coming and checking in on me, but look, you got your whole life ahead of you. Let me go. Which made perfect sense. Like, we not even married or nothing like that.
right,
So why are you gonna sit over here and hold your whole life up, and
mm,
I'm gonna be sitting here in jail for the rest of my life? So I guess that made some sense to her, and she decided to join the Black Panthers. Then she wanted to find, like, she wanted to attach herself to another man. Like, this is a bad pattern. I'm starting to see the psychology behind this,
yeah,
all because of her fractured, dysfunctional relationship with
what
her
up?
father.
Yeah,
Let's just call it like we see it.
yeah, and he raising her daughter as his daughter, not as his brother.
Yes.
Then she didn't know that was her daughter. Well, the daughter didn't know that was her mother, rather, I should say. Yeah, she got a lot to go and deal with. She, that's her name, at least. Yeah, she got a lot to deal with. Um, and it wasn't
And
no.
then and then and then the part where she was sitting there crying to her dad, talking about, oh, I don't know what's going to happen to you. I'm just scared of something going to happen. Oh, now all of a sudden you come to this big epiphany like your dad Ben was in these streets.
Right. And talking about, I don't know, it ain't that much time and I love you. Hey. But hey, man, at least she finally realized it. Some people don't never realize it, unfortunately. But one thing I will say is Mamie Johnson, boy, she sure got his back, don't she? He'll lose
She
everything.
sure do.
Yeah, he could lose everything, and she'll be there right with him. I'm
But at the same time, she can be a little messy because that whole thing could have blew up in her face.
what with the little
Trying to
writer?
bringing what's the name with her to that gala.
Yeah, yeah. She ain't got nothing to do.
Ain't got nothing to do. Like, girl,
Nothing
what
to
you gonna
do.
find a hobby or something?
That's a hobby. Try to be in the high society, I guess. Try to show
Trying to be up
black
in
folks.
everybody's face.
Uh-huh. I went
Like
to
who the heck will pay $100,000 to be a part of a freaking club?
the dude. I went to meet your husband, Bumpy Johnson. I've always wanted a Bumpy Johnson.
Yeah, he was creeping me out when he was saying that. Like, why are you so fascinated with my husband?
Because his name is Johnson and he gay. And then it's a Bumpy Johnson. He like Capote. I just want to see is that Johnson Bumpy all over.
Talking about, do you know any crimes?
It's a
Like,
crime.
I'm going to snitch on my husband.
I know, right? It's a crime not to let me see that Bumpy Johnson. I want to meet him. Anyway, yeah, man, it was a good season overall. I would rate this season probably a B. I wouldn't say it was their best season. It wasn't their worst. It's a good show, solid show.
Mhm.
But I don't know if I'd say I know season one was fire, super fire. Like most of these type shows are. I don't know. What would you rate this season overall now that it's over?
I say the same thing, a B.
Yeah,
Overall, a B.
yeah, y'all let me know in the comments, whether live or on the replay, what would you rate this season? But yeah, it was a good season. It had a couple filler episodes to move the story along. I get it. But overall, it was a good season, a good story. I liked it. I can't complain. Um,
Oh, Jay, not to cut you off, I wanted to mention that one part when they had went over there to the Black Panthers was over there trying to find that contact where they had called. Remember,
the what?
the Black Panthers was sitting out there with the informant, with the guy that shot Malcolm X.
Oh yeah.
Like who does that? Like who leaves they only lead out there by themselves and then just
Then they run on foot. They didn't even try to chase him down or nothing.
like you didn't even shoot at the car, no
Nothing.
nothing.
Nothing. He just took a bullet for nothing.
Exactly.
They ain't care nothing about him. They was just using him. But they suck. They kind of make them look kind of incompetent a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, damn, is this what the Black Panthers was all about? Like, nah, this can't be.
Right. This looked like 4 or 5 friends hanging out with ideas. That's what that's like. 4 or 5 friends hanging out with ideas. That's all that is. You talk about the Black Panther organization. This 4 or 5 friend with a couple ideas. Anyway, you know. Big Bird, you say you give this season a C plus. They ain't know all them famous folks. Some of the people I would say, but like Tupac Mama, it did make me wonder. It did kind of make like every famous person that came through that area had to like kiss the ring or they bumped into him one way or another, which maybe is true, maybe it's not. Those kind of people were celebrities more so back in the day. But who knows? Plus, you could have done things like Tupac Mama wasn't Tupac Mama yet. She was just some little for one of the 4 or 5 friends with ideas around the table. So, James Baldwin. So the Harlem Renaissance, Bumpy, he did know Malcolm and he was around. He been around in Harlem for a long time since, what I'm saying, Madam Queen and Dutch Schultz and, all this stuff. So to back in the day, this is something from what I've heard. And then my mom, not that she was with Bumpy Johnson and them type of things, but just from stories she say when she was younger. People were able to, and first of all, celebrities didn't make so much more money than people do today. You know what I mean? They didn't have $1 billion or something, or $500 million. So people, and then everything wouldn't be recorded and filmed, so people could be around famous person somewhat, especially black, because then black folks was around black folks. It ain't like you can go everywhere like now. So you would probably, if you was famous, hang around another black famous area or people and things. So make a long story short, the likelihood of people prominent bumping into each other, doing this and that, whatever the case, was higher than it is today. For example, it's a story about Willie Mays after he had one of his best games or something in his first year or something. He would go to the local pool hall / bar that was just like a couple blocks from his house in Harlem or something and hang out. Like you wouldn't find the top baseball player, Derek Jeter or something, do that, or Aaron Judge or something. They'd probably get robbed or something, or definitely be taking pictures and it'd be all over the place. So anyway, I'm just saying, who knows? I am kind of as well. I'm not saying I believe it all, but I'm saying it's more possible then than now. I very doubt like a Jay-Z would be hanging out in the hood type stuff, or be everybody meeting and do. No, they wouldn't do that type stuff. They on the, they don't even, it don't seem like they would even socialize with regular people no more, to a certain extent. I don't know. Of course, that could be. I hope I'm overstepping that, because everybody is a regular person at the end of the day. But some of these people up in those big bank account levels can be. Anyway, Ray Negron, what's up, man? Long time no see. You say what's good. You say the story was wrong in the finale, but it wasn't bad at all. How was the story wrong in the finale? About how he got shot? I mean, they got to make it entertaining. We just learned a little more details about the shooting and stuff a little while ago as well. And, that's why they try to say this stuff, do it in the TV show instead of a documentary, I guess. I don't know. But
Well, I got a question.
what's up?
Um, do you think we're gonna see the see Chin again in the next season? You think he gonna come back from Miami?
I looked him up as well. I think he outlived Bump, but I don't think by much. So probably not. But then again, we may see him make an appearance. It just probably won't be long, because somebody got to run his family now. They ain't going to let Stella get up there. So maybe he may come back and appoint somebody or get okay for something, but then he'll probably go back and retire. Uh, Big Bird, that was who? Adam Clayton Powell? Is that who you talking about? Adam Clayton Powell?
Oh yeah, I noticed that. Like I haven't seen him the whole season.
Yeah, he been gone the whole season. Yeah. And I think he been on another show. But I don't know if that had anything to do why he ain't been around this season. He could have died or got unelected, or who knows, said he don't want to be bothered with them no more. I'm not sure. I didn't do his background, but yeah, he ain't been on all season. Yeah. Yeah. Corey Washington, you say Columbo could have had his own series. The real Columbo had more drama than this show's Columbo. Yeah, they not really focusing on Columbo enough for us to know what he doing. We only see what he do when it interferes with Bump. But all of those dudes at the round table, they had a crazy life. One of those dudes that sit there with the glasses, he a detective from New York or a police detective from real life. He got a funny name. I can't remember his name, but yeah, he a real detective. Deedle, Bo Deedle, that's his name.
Yeah, ain't that the one that was sitting there messing with with Chin's wife?
Yeah, yeah. And he was talking to her at the table, and then yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. Well, y'all, I'm about to get up out of here, but I appreciate you for coming, sis. You want to say something before we get up out of here? Abundance.
Well, I appreciate, coming out on here on the show, and I'm just looking forward to the next season of The Godfather of Harlem. And that's about it.
Hey, that's what's up. We still got the shy going on, and then what else? Power Book 4 coming pretty soon. We got BMF on, and then this Friday I'm gonna go pick up my mom, and then for she coming in town. Got to pick her up from the airport in Chicago, and then it just so happened a little party or something with my agent. So it'd be a bunch of people there from the Shy. I'm gonna try to do some video while I'm there, but the problem is they be playing a bunch of music. So
Oh,
yeah, they'll do a copyright. I might have to maybe do it on TikTok or on Twitch. So if I do, I'll try to let y'all know or post on YouTube. But make sure everybody subscribe to those spots. But Nuck was there last time with these big old bell bottoms, man. He had some bell bottoms, boy. But no, it's a lot of people there. It was cool. No, I wasn't never on the Shy, although I should have been. I should have been. Who knows? Maybe next season. I'm gonna tell her, hey, look, if they got another season, get me an audition on there. I don't give a damn. I did try to audition once when it was they were looking for somebody to be Ronnie's friend. I think that was season one. That's the only I auditioned for season one of the Shy.
oh.
That was for one of Ronnie's friends. And they end up getting that other light skinned dude, I guess. Anyway, that's the thing with the acting stuff is like you do a job and then after that you unemployed.
Yes, it's never consistent unless it's like some type of contract or something.
hmm That's why a lot of actors you'll see do TV shows like a Kevin Costner. Because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he a big movie star and he can probably get a role better than me, of course. Still, he probably get tired of starting over or looking for this or doing that when they can just get with one project and just go to work every day and go home every night and keep it going and make some money.
But you know what? I might be showing my age right now, but I really don't care right now. I know that real popular back in the day, like all the actors wanted to be on the soap operas back in the day, because it was always they were always on. It
Well,
was
that was the
always
start.
consistent.
Well, in the acting game, they got it where a soap opera is like a start, and then like
Mhm.
a TV show is like the next level start, medium, and then movie star or movies. So like you had some actors be on a TV show. Wasn't Denzel on Saint Elsewhere? That
Mhm.
that was something like a soap TV show or some, but whatever. You can move up. They'll let you move up one level. Rarely do you go two levels, like from a soap to a TV to a movie star. Although I think did George Clooney do that? Oh no, he was on ER.
Yeah, he was on ER.
Yeah, but you normally can go from soap to TV star or from TV to movie star. But it's like you can get training. That's like your uh, G League or college.
Or sometimes like they be starting out like in commercials, doing jingles and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, you take whatever you can get, but that's not as some like as consistent work where you can then show a reel and then be like, "Hey, look at this," and then they can see your work and then give you another bigger role or something. It's a lot of stuff in between. I was just generalizing it, but you know, yeah. Well,
But I'll tell you one thing.
go ahead.
That Shaquille O'Neal, I see him in like all the commercials.
Well, that's different for him. Because one thing about Shaq is that he invests in all the companies he do a commercial for. And a lot of times he'll do the commercial for free because they used to pay for that, but then he would take that money, buy into the company. You know, Shaquille O'Neal owned more companies than probably, man, I think he owned
I
over,
don't know. He running neck and neck with Magic because he own a lot of stuff
man, I'm
too.
talking about he owned like 100, 200 companies. Like Shaq owned
Wow.
JC Penney. I'll show you some stuff. Because it's a company that buys into all this stuff, and then Shaq owns into that company. So like Muhammad Ali name, all kind of stuff. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, Shaq did real good. Let me say this before I forget. It is a show I've been working on. I can show y'all a preview. It's called Raising Rojas. Did I show you the preview for Raising Rojas?
No.
I was trying to keep it.
Already from the bat, the name is just
Ah, here you go, just out of jail. That's
okay.
that's the trailer.
So basically, he was just playing being in a wheelchair all this time in jail.
He
So
healed.
he healed. Yeah.
He healed. Look, he got the Versace, he got the rose, the gold chains, the taco meat, the shades. Look at that. Hey, Papi. Hey, mommy. What's up?
Okay. Welcome home.
AI is really good, huh?
Yeah.
That almost looked like my belly for real. Anyway. All right, y'all. Let me get up out of here.
All right then. Have all the good night, y'all.
The taco meat. J Doe. That taco meat looked real, didn't it? Ready to throw it on the grill. All right, y'all. Let me get up out of here. I'm gonna see y'all on the next one. Y'all be safe. Don't let the bad vibes of those people out there in life that don't appreciate you. Don't let them get to you, even if they are your friends, family, loved ones. Cause man, they don't even be getting it, and you be the one stressing and tripping out, and they won't even understand. They make it seem like you the one that's that got the problem. So, woosah. All right, woosah on that one. J Doe, you take care of my brother. Yvonne, you be easy, sis. Encouraging warrior, all of y'all watching, I appreciate you. Y'all be safe and have a good one. Deuces.